Hi, good afternoon, all. This is Dolores from Getting Gigs, and today I'd like to talk to you about the platform called OneForma. OneForma is a platform where you can do data collections, transcriber work, you can do grading work, translation work, annotation, and testing. And I wanted to share my experience about how it's been going for me in terms of the platform itself. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, and let me just get into this. The website for them is oneforma.com, is ONEFORMA.com. I'll put the link down below for you. And now let me go ahead and share my experience. I signed up for OneForma. It's probably been like almost a year, maybe a little bit longer. And when I first signed up for them, I didn't like really take too many tests. Like I did one, never heard anything back about it. So I decided, I didn't care at the time because I had other positions going, and it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really pique my interest. But then when I decided that I wanted to work permanently, work from home, doing remote work and side hustles and gigs, I thought I'd give them another shot because I'm always looking for side hustles to fill in the other side hustles and gigs that I do. So that way I have a full day of work, and that way I can hit my target goal of what I want to make per day. So that way I'm comfortable working from home at my time schedule. So I applied for one position for them. Now, there's a lot of information like with them that you're not allowed to share, but since this is on their homepage, it's not like breaking any of their rules. This is actually on their homepage, and anybody can find this by doing a Google search or whatever type of search that you do. So if you're on their front page and you scroll down, they have a few opportunities on the bottom here that say UHRS, Atlantis, and the Milky Way. The UHRS one, that is offered by a few different companies. Those are like those micro work or micro tasking work. This is one of those companies that offers work like that. And then they had the Atlantis and the Milky Way. The one that I originally signed up for was for the Milky Way project. And my experience was with that is I needed to share that experience with you just so that way you don't do the same mistake. OneForma and TELUS International, or TELUS, if that's the name they go by now, they both work on that same type of mapping program. I believe it's for the same company. So the reason I say that I believe it's for the same company is because if you apply through OneForma for that position and you apply for the position at TELUS, you can only do one of them. So, and if the one finds out that you're doing it for the other, they'll reject your application. So you can only, I don't know if they have any other position like that, but that for that one particular position, you can't do it at the two places at once. You could have to choose either one form of platform or TELUS platform. So what happened to me was I was unaware of this. So I applied for both of them. I applied for TELUS and I applied for OneForma. When I applied for TELUS, I actually started doing the testing. I was in the onboarding process, and then OneForma contacted me at the same time. So when I started testing with OneForma, I didn't realize it was the same thing until I started doing the testing. I was like, wow, this looks oddly familiar. Like it looked too familiar because it was basically almost the same work. And then I found out you couldn't do one or the other. So I mistakenly decided to tell us that I wasn't going to do the work for them, and I was going to do the work for OneForma. And I did that thinking that because if you go to OneForma's site where they have the job openings, when you finally get your sign on and everything, you'll see that they have a lot of positions displayed there. I thought since OneForma had more positions and availability, that it'd be better for me because I could just go from one job to another on the same platform. But that's what I didn't realize is that it doesn't take you don't it takes a while to get hired on OneForma, and I actually made a mistake by doing that because I could have already been working for TELUS. So that was a mistake that I made. Not saying that you won't get hired quicker on OneForma than TELUS. It just my experience alone was that I did all the work and I just never got the position. So even though you do the work and you do the test and you do the certification, doesn't mean they'll give you work for it or you won't, they're going to hire you for that position. So for me in particularly, what I've done with OneForma, I want to show you. I did it like screenshots because I can't show you the actual names. but I actually applied for, here it says 10. I actually applied for 12 positions. I applied for 8 that are in pending status. They're either in progress, they're either in pending, or waiting for approval. Some of these date back to the beginning of the year. And what they don't do is they don't contact you to tell you that you didn't get in. So you could stay in pending status for a while and you just never get in. Now, what happens is either eventually it'll just become like a project they're no longer working on, and then they'll finally go into like a reject queue that says that you've been rejected from the project or whatever. Um, I've only had like 2 like that where like that happened, like they've just been out there so long and their position is no longer available. So they kind of just expired. For the other ones, it seemed like they just set out there for infinity. And the issue that I have with that is because you actually have to test and do certifications for each of the ones that you want to sign up for. And even if you pass the testing and the certification, doesn't mean they're going to hire you. So I wasted quite a bit of hours doing the testing and training on each of those positions. One of them I could have swore it was over 3 hours that I did the testing for. I did all the testing. Like they have like like a booklet that like you open. It's like a computerized electronic. You open it. They have little quizzes in the middle, and then you do the quizzes. And at the end, you have to do like a couple certifications. And then if you pass the certifications, you think, oh, I got hired. No, that's not the case. You do the certifications, doesn't mean you're going to get picked. And if you do the certifications and you fail, then you can't do that position anyway. And I believe most of them are you have to pass with the 80% rate. And some of the ones, like the positions that they have out there, you need multiple certifications to do them. That was my experience. Now, the reason I wanted to do the video is because even though this is not a good platform for me, and I probably won't apply for more positions on here, there are other types of positions out here that I think are a good fit for other people, just not me. Like, I just don't think, for some reason, like, I'm not who they're looking for, but there's a lot of people on the internet that have been working for this company and have been making money. So, that one down on the below, I just want to just tell you this one. That Milky Way one, they're always hiring for, and this Atlantis one, those two are the ones that I see most popular, and that's why they have it on their front screen. So those are the two that, if you're gonna apply for any, those are ones you probably have a better shot for because they always are hiring for that type of position and that type of work. Now, I wanted to show you this too. On their website, like when you do get started, they'll actually have like options where you can choose like what you're doing. Like I said, I did a screenshot because I can't show you everything. I can't show you the positions that they have available, but these are just generalizations of what type of positions that they have available. Like if you look here, like they have 345 positions available in translation alone. So if you can speak multiple languages, that's the position for you. And like they actually have like a thing here that you can scroll. If you see like a number in here, that means they have positions available. And if you don't see a number, then they don't. But they actually have like large language model testing ones that are available right now. They have a lot of those translation ones. They have like a few transcriber ones. Like they have just a few, like a variety. But for the translation one, that's the biggest one out there right now. So I just wanted to mention that one. I think this other one down here is a judging one. So if you're looking for this one, you have to do the judging one. Yeah, it's called judging. These two are judging. Now, in terms of what they pay, every single position that I've applied for, some of them have not said what they pay. I've just applied for them just to, see what was going to happen. Some of them have been really low. I'm not going to lie about that. They've been really low. Like, like $11, $16, like different variations. But for me, my goal is to work from home. My goal is not to go into an office. And my goal is not to make this a full time job. This is just supplemental income. So if you apply for this position and they hire you for this position, remember you're a freelance worker. There's no guarantee there'll always be work for you. And so don't quit your regular job for this one. Don't don't do anything like that. Don't do anything crazy like that because there's no guarantee that one day you won't wake up and they say, "Oh, we ended that project." Because you're a contract worker or a gig worker, they don't have to tell you anything. They could just terminate the program and be done with it. And just like, oh, we're done with that project. So that's just a thing to keep in mind with this one. In terms of myself, like I have given up on applying for positions with them just because I think I'm not the right fit for them. But it doesn't, like I said, doesn't mean that you won't be the right fit. That's just my personal assessment, how it's gone for me with this platform. It hasn't gone well, but I'm not going to say that it's a bad company to work for because I have seen that there are a lot of other people out there working on the platform. Well, until next time, this is Dolores from Getting Gigs. If you can hit that like and subscribe button, I would appreciate it. Until next time, have a good night.